All right, well, good to see everyone. It is a pleasure to call this meeting of the Mayor and Board of Aldermen for the City of Natchez to order. I'd like to ask everyone to please stand for our prayer to be followed by our pledge. Let us pray. Father, we thank you for the beautiful day here in Natchez that you've given us, and we thank you for the opportunity to come together here to make good decisions for Natchez and for our citizens. We thank you for the opportunities that are coming our way, for your favor upon our community. We ask for your continued blessings. Let everything we do and say, let the contemplation of our hearts and the words of our mouths be pleasing to you, giving you the glory, the honor, and the praise. In your precious name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Let us now repeat together our pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. We'll ask the clerk to administer the roll call.
Alderwoman Hall,
Here.
Alderman Frazier,
That's it.
Alderwoman Smith,
Here.
Alderwoman Irving. I see her. Alderman Davis. I believe he ran to his truck, but he is here though. And Alderman Maroney.
Here.
Mr. Mayor, all are present and accounted for with the exception of Alderman Frazier.
All
here.
right. Thank you.
He's here.
And Alderman Frazier is walking in. All right.
All right, well, then everybody's
Making a
here.
grand entrance. We'll now have approval of minutes. Madam Clerk.
Okay, we have 3 sets of minutes for approval. First being the August 26th special call meeting.
What is the pleasure of the board?
So move. Second.
Motion made by Alderwoman Irving and seconded by Alderwoman Hall. Discussion. We'll call for the question.
Hall.
We'll proceed to a vote. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Motion carries. Next item.
Okay, next item, next set of minutes is the regular board meeting held on August 26th.
So move. Second.
A motion has been made by Alderwoman Smith and seconded by Alderwoman Hall. Discussion.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
This may have
Alderwoman
already,
Irving.
there were some typos. For instance, in the public hearing, it's referred to here as a taxi service permit. And so it's not taxi, it's a limo. And he-
Right, we did make some corrections.
Okay,
That were phoned in, yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Just want to be sure.
All right.
Thank
I'll
you.
call for the question. We'll proceed to a vote. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Motion carries. Next item.
Next set of minutes is the special call meeting held on August 28th.
What's the pleasure of the board?
So move.
Motion made by Alderwoman Irving, seconded by Alderwoman Smith. Discussion. We'll call for the question. We'll proceed to a vote. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Motion carries. We now will move on to city business. First, I do want to acknowledge that our county administrator is here, Mitzi Kahn, the county administrator for Adams County, and we are so grateful you're here, Ms. Kahn, and we appreciate the fine job that you're doing. I also want to recognize Mr. Larry Brown, son of former Mayor Butch Brown, who used to sit right here. And we're so glad to see you, Larry. And in fact, we're going to, in just a little while, discuss something that I know is pertinent to you and your family. And we'll get to that shortly. But thank you for being here. At this time, I'd like to welcome Kevin Jennings. Kevin, good to see you with Noon Real Estate. And he is the president of the development company that is developing Tracetown. And also with him, we have consultant Chris Gurris. And Mr. Gurris is helping us with the financials of the project. We also have with us Trey Hess, who is our Brownfield Development Director and consultant with the city through PPM Consultants. And so we have a number of things that we've got to get done today. One being a RETA resolution, and then also to proceed with some other documents that need to be discussed and approved. We just put you all on the agenda. In which order do we need to take this? Mr. Gurris?
Yes, sir.
All right. And Mr. Gurris is the consultant helping with all of these transactions, and we're grateful to see Chandler Russ and Amy Gatto here with Nagazine. Mr. Gurris, somehow or another, we left your name off of the agenda, so I'm going to ask for a quick motion to allow you to speak.
So moved.
Motion
Second.
by Alderwoman Hall, seconded by Alderwoman Irving. Discussion, we'll call for the question. We'll proceed to a vote. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Motion carries. Mr. Gurris, you now have the floor.
Thank you, Mayor, and I appreciate y'all having us here today. As you mentioned, I'm here today on behalf of Noon Real Estate. One of their principals, Kevin Jennings, is here with us. I've known Kevin for some time. I've known two of his partners, John Foy and Jamie Flegel. Mr. Foy going on 30 years, Jamie 20 plus in their previous companies they've worked for. And they've been doing commercial retail development throughout the Southeast for a long, long time. Their present company, Noon, proud to sit here in front of you and say I'm working on our third project in 3 years in Mississippi with Noon. They've developed a really nice shopping center down in Pascagoula on Highway 90 that had city-county support similar to what we're here asking you for today. And a really large 150,000 square foot shopping center in Batesville, Mississippi that is under construction on the northeast corner of I-55 and Highway 6. It too had consideration from the city and county in the way of public bond dollars to help make it a reality. What they're looking to do, I know you're familiar with, is the redevelopment of the Tracetown Shopping Center. They're looking to have about a $25 million investment there. They're asking the city through urban renewal to issue bonds on the back end of the project. After the project is completed, the new taxes are validated to help to recover $5.5 million in their development costs. In order to do that, the city at the right time will have to issue about $6.5 million. There's a debt service reserve that gets set aside out of the bond proceeds. There may be some capitalized interest at the time. And there will be the city's issuance costs with its bond attorneys and financial advisors. You'll also hear from Mr. Hess in a few minutes about a brownfield incentive. Between construction completion and the time that the bonds are issued, the city will be asked to utilize a portion of its sales tax rebates along with the state sales tax to help recover 2.5 times the abatement costs or the environmental abatement costs related to the redevelopment of the center. That'll probably take about 3 years for that brownfield incentive to pay out. And once it burns off and is paid, the state of Mississippi, along with the cities, tracking those dollars. And once it gets reached, the sales taxes will start coming to the city. At that point in time, we will sit with the city and measure those tax revenues, the new sales taxes, the new property taxes, and issue up to $6.5 million in bonds to be able to net our client a $5.5 million reimbursement on the back end. Importantly, the city is receiving $110,000 a year in sales tax from the center today from the businesses that exist. And the mayor and the administration have a Department of Revenue letter certifying the amount of sales taxes that the city presently receives. Currently, the city receives about $22,000, $23,000 a year in property tax. So there's $133,000 or so that the city presently receives. When we get on the back end of the project, assuming this is favorably considered, the project built, placed in service, on the back end, after the brownfield incentive is retired, we'll measure the new taxes with the administration and its consultants. The new sales tax, the new property tax, minus that existing $133,000 that has been presently being used by the city. And that new incremental amount of money is what we'll be able to go out into the market and issue bonds. Our client is taking the risk. If their sales exceed their projections and $6.5 million is what's issued, there it is. If those sales are not at the levels we believe that they're going to be at, then the bonds will be issued based on the amount of increment that is actually there. Meaning if it's not enough, those bonds will be less. And that's a development risk that our clients are willing to take with the city's commitment. Mayor, what you have before you, well, let me back up. This board has already set a public hearing for the urban renewal plan. The urban renewal plan designates that shopping center area as the area in which the city can use the taxes to issue the bonds. We've got an upcoming hearing, I think on the 22nd, in which you'll be asked to consider public comment and approve that plan. What you have in front of you today is a resolution that authorizes the city and the county to file a Regional Economic Development Act application with the Mississippi Development Authority to authorize the city and county to partner in this endeavor. That resolution authorizes a public hearing notice down the road when it's time to issue bonds. There's a draft of a development agreement. It's in form only. You'll later be asked to consider a development agreement down the road. But the action we need the board to consider today authorizes the city to file the regional economic development application with the Mississippi Development Authority.
All right. You've explained it so well, and we will just take this in order then. And I do want to announce that our attorney who advises the city on these matters in partnership with our city attorney, Mr. Lazarus, is online, and Mr. Brad Davis with Watkins and Eager. And Mr. Davis, I'm sorry. And so Mr. Davis is actually online. At some point, he might want to speak or address questions. He is the board's advisor on these matters. I would like to entertain a motion that we would approve the resolution that has been described by Mr. Gurris today. This will be an application by the city of Natchez to the Mississippi Redevelopment Authority for a certificate of convenience and necessity for the proposed development of the Tracestown Shopping Center pursuant to the Regional Economic Development Act, and approving and authorizing the execution and delivery of a REDA agreement and authorizing the publication of notice of REDA bond issue as required by the REDA. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Motion made by Alderwoman Smith and seconded by Alderwoman Hall. Discussion.
Yes.
Alderman Frazier.
I'm looking at this regional economic development agreement. Would you say that both parties are taking a risk on this?
Which parties, Mr. Frazier?
On this bond issue there?
Yes.
Are we taking a risk?
Ultimately, and these,
If this failed to go through, or what happened, something failed to go through, so the city will be taking a risk too. Am I correct?
so legally under the law with, when this board does general obligation bonds, let's say $10 million bond issue to pave the streets. A general obligation bond, the city is pledging its full faith and credit that the financial capability of the city are backing that bond. In an urban renewal bond, which this is, or a TIF bond, which it's not, they're similar, the pledge of the city are the revenues from the project. So in the event, let's just say in year 10, we had 15-year bonds, and in year 10, a tornado blew through and just destroyed it. Or a fire burned it to the ground, and the tax revenues were diminished. The bondholders that buy these bonds know that the only security they have are the revenues from the project to pay those bonds back. If I'm answering your question.
Yeah, like I said, I'm just, I'm for economic development and developing this project, but I don't want in the future, as you say, we got the plan for the future. I might not be here to reach something fails or something like that, and our citizens be responsible for it. That's all I need to find out.
Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Alderwoman Irving.
Okay, and mine was very similar. I know we are taking a risk, but I was looking when we received.
Actually, the city is not taking a risk.
They are, the developers are. They're
Exactly.
taking a risk. But what we're looking at with the obligation bond, we didn't have a definite. So are we getting the entire 6.5 million? I think that was what I wanted to ask our board attorney, because that's who I should, is that what we are?
Mr. Burris, if you could, I think you.
The principal
can
amount, are we,
Answer that.
because here it says the aggregate principal amount of $6,500,000 from time to time. So we are,
So how this will work, I believe when this project is finished, that we would have one bond issuance. But this program allows for multiple bond issuances. For example, if half of it was placed in service and we went out and issued 4 million, we could come back and issue another 2.5 million later. So that aggregate is a not to exceed amount. I believe because of the nature of this project and the commitments that Noon has, that they'll get this thing put in place, and a few years from now, 3.5 years from now or so, we'll do one bond issuance for whatever amount of money it is, not to exceed the $6.5 million.
okay. And my next question is, with that amount, and you're saying anywhere from 4 million to 6.5 million, we didn't get an amount that the city would have to pay back, I mean, on that issue, because again, it's a risk. And if something should happen, what does that look like from our behalf of what, an estimate of what you think the city would have to pay back on that amount of the bond?
Well, so that's a good question. At this point, it's an unknown number. It's expectations. We're talking about estimated taxes in the future, but no bonds are going to get issued until the Department of Revenue tells us exactly how much money the city's getting every year, and the tax assessor certifies how much the property taxes are. And at that point in time, we'll be able to sit down and say $6.5 million in bonds, and the city's portion is X of sales tax and property tax. And we're hopeful that the county is going to participate at some level as well. At that time, you'll know for certain when it comes time to issue the bonds, exactly how much revenues of the city are being allocated to the debt service.
Okay, that answers my question. Thank you.
And if I may, we're sitting here today talking about making a deal with Noon based on estimates. You're going to issue bonds based on facts, hard dollars, which you'll have to consider at the appropriate time.
Okay.
And as I understand it, that decision won't even be made until 2030.
That's correct. This is not
And by then, we will have 3 years of solid data. Also, I want to make sure everyone understands, and people listening, that we are not pledging any existing taxpayer funds, and we are not pledging any existing sales taxes. But what we are doing is saying that we have a vacant, defunct, old, rundown shopping center today. It is producing zero. If you look at the back where these new stores are going, the new taxes that will be generated there will help to pay for the development. And this is a perfectly legal strategy. The developer bears the risk, not the city. And this has been done time and time again all over this country. And in every part of Mississippi that is now thriving as a retail sector, the TIF strategy and a strategy similar to this is the way they have done it. Is that correct?
Mayor, that is correct. And I'm 30 years here in Mississippi working on these types of projects and have been involved with over 100 tax increment financing projects throughout the state during that time period. One thing I would like to clarify is that the existing tax revenues are not expected to be used to pay debt service, but we do expect to pledge the revenues from the entirety of the district, saying we would use the new taxes to size the bonds.
But only the new taxes.
Yes, sir. That's
not
correct.
the existing taxes.
That's correct.
Because we know that when all these stores come in, sales are going to increase at, for example, County Pie, Red Top, and also McDonald's. And so that increase can be used because that is new tax generated by the development.
That's
But
correct.
the existing tax, and right now it's a little over 100,000 a year, that will remain, that's not a part of this. In addition to that, the city's portion of the property taxes, which is actually, we're paying over 100. All total, we're collecting city, county, school board.
Yes.
We can't legally abate any school board taxes. We will be asking the county if they will support an abatement of taxes, the city. We will continue in that abatement to collect what we're currently collecting. But the new abatement, that means the new taxes generated by this increased property value, because this is a new development, will also be used in the mix. Is that correct?
That's correct. And so to use some numerical examples, when the project's finished, if we've got 700,000 in new taxes, total, we're going to deduct the 133,000 that the city is getting today. And that increase is what we'll use to determine how much in bonds to issue.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Alderwoman Hall.
Just for clarification, I thought Mr. Gurr said this is not, what we're signing today is not a TIF. And you just mentioned TIF.
I said projects all across this country. And if I said TIF,
You did.
I said TIF and other
Oh,
bond
okay.
programs similar to the one we're doing
Okay,
today,
thanks.
which is actually an urban renewal bond
Correct.
and not a TIF. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Alderman Frazier.
well, I'm just my little final comment on it and what you said and what he said. It's a strategy. Am I correct? You say it was strategy. A strategy is a risk. Legal.
These guys
It's a
are
risk.
taking, these
All I
guys,
want to know is it's a risk.
these guys are taking a
Okay,
$25 million risk.
Okay, it's a
And-
strategy. When you say a strategy, and the mayor say a strategy, it's still a risk. Okay, let's move on.
And I'm looking out there right now and noticing, Kevin, that y'all are taking on a $25 million risk, and that's part of it, including the risk on
That's
this.
all. It's strategy.
And we're just grateful it's happening. I can't wait to see the new stores, the new
Thank you.
jobs, and all the new sales taxes.
We for development.
Alderman Maroney.
It's a risk.
So there's a few blank stares still out there. The only money that we're risking, the only money that we're putting into this is money that we presently don't have. And we're talking about the money that we're not getting right now because that place is dead. All right? The little bit of money that we are getting, we will continue to get. The new money that we're not getting today is the only thing that we're pledging to this project. So in essence, we're not going to be out anything that we have now. It's pretty simple. All we're giving them is new stuff that right now, if we don't do anything, we don't have it, we're not going to have it. Okay. If we do this thing, there's some new money. That's the only thing that we're putting into. That's simple.
Thank you, Alderman. Alderwoman Irving.
Well, then and so my question is, because I'm looking down here, because I got to underline it, we're looking at improvements to infrastructure. So would that be a part of what you are on the city? Because I know those buildings have not been used in many, many years. And I know infrastructure would change with new buildings going up. And so would that be on the developer? And that's what I'm asking.
Yes, the city is not being asked to construct any improvements here. My clients will go out and build it turnkey, the infrastructure, the parking, the lighting, the
Okay.
landscape, the buildings, and then on the back end, get reimbursed. We're not asking the city to participate in any construction activities.
Thank you.
Now, Alderman Roney, one thing I'd like to clarify, and I think this is very an important key, because I expect to be back here in front of you in a few weeks and a few years. So you're going to see me a lot over the years.
Good.
And there is a very important distinction that I think it's important for the board and the public to understand. Pledging the revenues versus using the revenues. When I go to the bank and say, I want to buy a house, I pledge all of my income to the bank to cover that mortgage. So what is being asked is the city will pledge all of the revenue from this shopping center, pledge, including the existing. But we are going to determine the amount of bonds to be issued using only the new taxes. So what I didn't want to have happen here today with the comments that we've had is when Mr. Davis prepares the bond documents and you read the bond documents, say, wait a minute, we're pledging it all. You will be asked to pledge it all, but you're only going to use the amount that is necessary to service the debt based upon the new taxes that are identified. So we're going to take those total taxes in 2030 minus the 133,000 that you're getting today, preserving the increment. I mean, the original tax that you're getting today, and borrow the necessary amount from the new money.
Okay. The question has been called. We will proceed with the vote. This will be a roll call vote. Alderwoman Hall,
Aye.
Alderman Frazier,
Aye.
Alderwoman Smith,
Aye.
Alderwoman Irving,
Aye.
Alderman Davis, Alderman Maroney.
All right,
The ayes have it. Motion carries.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
and we'll see y'all at the public hearing on the 22nd.
Yes. And it's good news. We'll be seeing more of you in the years to come because that means we have a lot more things coming. And ththese are good times in Natchez. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to invite Trey Hess, our consultant, who has helped us on so many brownfield projects now, turning brownfields into green fields, and the green being the color of money. Mr. Hess, thank you for your help on this. We have now another item that we need to take care of.
Yep.
Because there is a brownfield here, and we are putting that to our benefit within this strategy, as Alderman Frazier calls it. Could you please explain?
Sure. Well, first off, if you'll remember back in July, Jimmy Smith and I came before you for phase one, which is the Hobby Lobby, and it was primarily an asbestos cleanup and demolition project. Well, that was that one spot. And of course, on the backside is phase two. And at the time, Jimmy brought in Noon and brought Kevin and his group into this because it was a little more complicated. This was an old dry cleaner back there. And we did the assessment work. The city graciously did a lot of that work with the assessment grant that was done, but also Noon put in some of their own money to do these kinds of things. And we basically found that the old dry cleaner has, and this was just the way it was done back in the day, some chemicals that are used to clean your clothes. A little bit of that had gotten into the shallow groundwater underneath it. Now, keep in mind, your drinking water comes from deep wells that are not on this site. So
Right.
you've got good, clean water. And if anybody's hearing me on here, you got that. So, but in order to satisfy the banks, in order to satisfy Mississippi DEQ, and also really to ensure the city and the public health and safety, that kind of stuff needs to be cleaned up. And so we put together, working with Noon, put together a corrective action plan for phase two that involves an asbestos abatement, because that backside has asbestos in it, a demolition of that. But also what we want to do is cap some areas so that rainwater doesn't get down into that area that's got some residual contamination, and then ultimately want to push it. So you're basically capping it in place. And we're also doing something to protect any shoppers coming on the property, and that's putting on a vapor barrier underneath each one of these buildings. So think of it, let's go country boy, spray on bed liner, kind of like a spray on bed liner that you do underneath each one of these buildings to keep any vapors. And then finally, because again, we want to also now clean up that contamination, there's an injection of about 18 points of some chemicals that will clean up that shallow groundwater. So you've got a lot of that going on. This is common practice. In fact, most large cities, New York, New Jersey, those kind of things, you almost want to say New Jersey is a brownfield, but it's managed that way. We try to eliminate the risk and do those things. And so what you have in front of you is almost exactly like what you had in July, which is the Mississippi Economic Redevelopment Act. And if you'll remember, when it comes to sales tax, and that's the primary driver on this, for every 7% sales tax that's out there, most of that goes to the state, right? Most of you guys don't get much of that piece. Well, the beauty of this incentive, which was created about 2005, expanded in 2013, it basically is not like a TIF where you're just dealing with the city's small portion of this. You're actually leveraging the state side of this thing. So that's a great thing, because what that does is get this going and get it taken care of pretty quick. And so it's also this is a financial, environmental, regulatory, and liability risk for Noon Real Estate. You know, the thing that I've been drinking the brownfield Kool-Aid for a long time, and I like to see properties redeveloped versus let's just go out by the bypass. It's a Speedy McQueen Disney movie kind of reference. Anyway, so But the thinking is, let's not tackle our greenfield areas to put shopping centers. Let's have an incentive out there to do this. And so this incentive is there to get developers to go in and clean sites up. And so what we did back in July for phase one was ask for the city to develop a resolution identifying the areas where this brownfield redevelopment and the properties or the businesses that are going to be on that, where those sales tax from that can be taken and put into a pot that then is rebated back to the developer. Here's the thing, the money for cleanup coming out of pocket right now or right as soon as they go out there. So this is something that's paid for on the front end, and the financial and the environmental risk associated with that. And then on the back end, how well the businesses do is really dictating whether there's a rebate or not. So give you a simple example. I like to do simple examples. If there's a coffee shop that you want to put on an old brownfield and you spend $100,000 worth of cleaning that up and you make bad coffee, you're not generating any sales tax and you're out that deal as the developer. City's not out anything. In fact, heaven forbid, I'm confident, Kevin, that y'all are going to do great. Y'all going to have a really good development here. But in the worst case scenario, you'll actually have, he'll clean it up. The developers will clean it up, put the businesses on there. And for heaven, for whatever reason, if it were to go belly up, I don't see that happening just because these guys are really smart on that. But you'll have a clean piece of property. So it'll be recycled through the foreclosure process. This is the smartest redevelopment brownfield incentive out there in the United States. I can attest to it because all my other state cohorts, when I was at Mississippi DEQ, were jealous of it. I've had Louisiana and Alabama now say, what can we do to get it happening over there? So enough of all of that. What I'm here there's two pieces of this. The first one is a resolution from the city that you have in your packets to identify the redevelopment area. And so, going on my readers, recommend that the city approve the resolution establishing the redevelopment project area for the Tracetown Shopping Center Phase 2 redevelopment area. So that's the first recommendation and resolution that you have in front of you.
All right, I'll entertain a motion from Alderwoman Smith, seconded by Alderman Maroney. And we are defining this brownfield redevelopment project area. And we are so grateful to Noon Tracetown LLC. Mr. Kevin Jennings, thank you so much for what you're doing to make Natchez better and bring opportunity here. I want to make sure everyone understands this is a proven strategy, but not used in many places. And in the state, we will join a list of some really good developments. The mill, where I used to go to school in Starkville, is one of the projects I understand. What are some other projects?
So you have the mill at MSU, which is right there off campus. It used to be the old fiscal plant. It's now a beautiful conference center and Marriott hotel. You've also, if you go down by St. Dominic's in Jackson, if you remember the old School of the Blind was over there on across the interstate there. Now it's the District at Eastover, and they used a portion of that. We've also got in Greenwood, Mississippi, an old Three Rivers Inn has now been revitalized into a McAllister's and a Zaxby's for that one. And then also in Hernando, we had a dentist. So I encourage anybody that's in that's here in Natchez, if they want to try this kind of project. He took a very small property with about a $50,000 dig and haul project there. There's a lot of hand holding on all that, but converted that into an Italian restaurant and a little boutique. So even little projects, not big projects like the mill, those kind of things can happen. And we've seen about 6 to 7 to 8 of these projects going on. The great thing about Natchez is, you guys have tackled grants. This is a private sector. The thing I like about private sector redevelopments is you let the private sector do its thing because they're used to the risk. And then also grants can only go towards public owned property. So that's the challenge here. So you guys have pretty much tackled just about every tool in the toolbox between this and the Fry building and some of the other properties out there. So those are some examples, Mayor.
Alderwoman Smith?
So clarifying on this portion of it, which is the first portion, and this is based on additional sales tax from the state and from the city.
Correct.
Correct, yes.
Yeah.
To make sure that's
Yeah,
understood.
absolutely. The beauty of this is because of that 80% from the state, this is accelerating and you'll get back to your normal cash
So
flow.
the state's offering up their revenue in order to help economic development.
That's the great thing about this.
Yeah.
This one.
I have a question.
Alderman Frazier?
You said it was a dry cleaner there? What was the name of
In
it?
that corner.
Allen's dry cleaner,
Allen?
and then James.
They moved it over by the shops.
I can tell you how old I am, but I remember Sears Roebuck, but I'm kind of like trying to get Allen.
So it was a while ago. I'm even.
I know because it was built in, I think,
remember hearing this a
it
very
was
long
opened
time
up in
ago.
1969 when they opened Trace Town, I think.
Yeah.
And it was, I know it was Sears Roebuck. I'm kind of like, since you say Allen Clayton, I kind of like vaguely remember.
It's okay. It happened to
Because
me
you had
too.
Ben Wars, you had, I could tell you everything was up there.
Yes. Well, the neat thing about this tackles environmental contamination. And I mean, that's a good thing. And with the history in the city, my hope is between Tracetown 1, Tracetown 2, and the types of projects. I mean, you got an old town. So the beauty of this is this ought to be a tool in the toolbox where you get the next big, somebody wants to create a restaurant or something, they could probably tackle this and do this.
Because it used to be the Apple Peak Motel there.
Well, here's the thing, if it's a hotel,
Apple
you got,
Apple Peak was right there with the mall.
whatever.
Call the question.
But you're so right.
All right.
This would be the model for that.
I can tell you how old I am.
The question has been called. We're going to proceed to a vote. Alderwoman Hall,
Aye.
Alderman Frazier,
Aye.
Alderwoman Smith, Alderwoman Irving,
Aye.
Alderman Davis,
Aye.
Alderman Maroney.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Motion carries.
All right, the final item on this is the actual developers agreement that Noon has presented in the packet as well. And basically, it's an understanding of that they will follow your building codes and they're gonna build what they're saying they're gonna build. And you guys are comfortable with that in the development agreement and also the other pieces, parts. Again, just like Tracetown 1, this is part of that, and this is a requirement for this project to go through. And so it's recommended the city approve the developers agreement with Noon Tracetown LLC, establishing the obligations of the parties for development and cleanup of the property.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Maroney, seconded by Alderwoman Hall. Discussion? We'll call for the question.
All.
We'll proceed to a vote. Alderwoman Hall,
Aye.
Alderman Frazier,
Aye.
Alderwoman Smith,
Aye.
Alderwoman Irving,
Aye.
Alderman Davis,
Aye.
Alderman Maroney.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Motion carries.
Thank you, guys. Look forward to coming back here soon with more work.
Thank you, Mr. Hess. Yes, a lot going on here. Before you leave, Mr. Jennings, would you and Jamie Flagel have been amazing. And we're so grateful for all you've done, meeting with us, meeting with Natchez Inc., all of these who have gathered around to help. And you're really making history here. Would you like to address the board, Kevin?
Take a second.
Sure.
And thank you all. Thank you for this very important, necessary first step. We'll be back in a couple of weeks again and excited to be a part of the community. You don't know me. I've gotten to know a few of you,
Wanna go to the mic?
but appreciate the opportunity. Again, necessary first steps. You know, this is what we do. Feel free to look us up. Noon Real Estate is the company name. And my partner and I have done 25 plus shopping centers just like this over the last 10 plus years. And we look forward to be part of the community. Again, critical first step. Excited about making it through this hurdle and on to the next hearing.
But thank you.
Mr. Mayor,
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor,
Thank you. Yes, Alderman Frazier.
I was just like, I know I ask some irrelevant questions sometimes, but I just want to thank you for coming to Natchez and developing Natchez. And we're looking forward to you bringing some more in the stores here.
Yes, sir.
We are
Excited.
open for business.
Good.
Our next step is to get some industry.
Well, these are just the initial hurdles, right? There's
Yeah.
a lot to occur past here.
And trust
Thank
me,
you for the support.
and trust me, these ladies are waiting on her.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank
I
you.
hope we can deliver what everyone wants to see. Thank you again for
Thank
this
you.
first step.
Thank you, and safe travels and our best to Jamie.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Next, we have Lindsay Gilbert, Visit Natchez. Oh, and Brad Davis, if you're still listening, thank you. I think all went well.
Glad to be here. I've been listening in. When things are going well, you stay out of the way, but thanks for the recognition.
Thank
We-
you, Mr. Davis.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate you very much, Brad. All right. Lindsay Gilbert is our interim director at Visit Natchez. So glad to see you, Ms. Gilbert. And we're also glad to see Helen Moss Smith here, who is the chairwoman of our board there at the NCPC. And you are presenting your budget for the coming year.
Correct. So this is the Natchez Convention Promotion Commission fiscal, ma'am,
Do we have a copy?
you should.
It's in, it should have been in
It
your,
was on our packet last night. It was in a white envelope last night.
here, I can look on with, here we go.
I'm sorry, I didn't bring any extra
And
copies.
I didn't have that in my packet, okay.
No, it was in
You
yesterday.
did not,
Yeah, last night.
Okay.
Okay.
budget.
Good.
All
Okay.
right, yes.
Okay, yes. So this is our fiscal 2026 budget, which would
Thank you.
start October 1. So this has been very thoughtfully and conservatively put together with myself, NCPC commissioners, and then a few members of the TMAC committee, which is the Tourism Marketing Advisory Committee. So we put it together. We had TMAC approve it last month as well as the NCPC. So I wanted to kind of show you some of the things we have planned. If everyone has a copy, I'll just kind of hit some of the highlights. Obviously, dues and registrations is nothing special. Kind of going down to, it says FAMs and travel writers. So this is, if you see some of the exposure that we're given, most recently was the Texas Monthly article that came out where we hosted a journalist who came to Natchez and experienced food and wine. And, we set up a whole itinerary for them. That's a very important section for us. So this includes travel writers. It's any kind of site visits for meeting planners. So Visit Natchez is happy to host these people, put together an itinerary that gives them a great experience in hopes that we'll get coverage, multiple times in the future. Also, what else did I want to highlight? Any questions, stop me when you see office supplies. Postage, we had to go up on our postage because the number of visitor guide requests we get is unreal. Even though we're in the digital age, people still like to have that copy of the visitor guide in front of them. So our postage went way up. And this is very similar to what it was last year. We actually budgeted a little less just because, it's a slow time right now. And we wanted to make sure that we are not over budget. If you'll go down to convention services, we always offer those bags for convention attendees. We'll make their name tags. So that's a little piece of our budget. We also have convention support. So this is some of those groups that need that incentive money to come here. We've done the fire chiefs in the past, and we just set that money aside as a way to get them here. If that's what they need to put them over the edge, we're happy to provide that. Trade shows. So when I get to be director of sales, that's what I get to go out and promote Natchez as a destination for meetings, for international travel, as well as bus groups. And then Roscoe Barnes in our office, Dr. Barnes, you all know him, and he does a little bit of traveling as well to get people here. Any questions? Just keep on sponsorships and grants. You're familiar with our marketing assistance program. So that's where these events that need help, some extra money to market their event, we are happy to provide that. There's a form that they fill out and it goes before the NCPC board, as well as quarterly, it goes before the TMAC board. And we're happy to provide assistance. We want people here as much as they do. And then I wanted to mention this year, we are working on starting a brand new kind of assistance program, but it will be focused on arts and music. So, we know Thursday through Sunday is a lively place, but we really wanted to encourage some things earlier in the week. And so that's more details are coming, but hopefully starting in October, we'll be able to launch that program.
That's great.
Yes. And then of course we have the visitor center. So there are, quite a bit of expenses there. We need another ambassador at the visitor center. So if you know of anyone, let me know. Then our marketing account. So that's that $2 heads on beds that you hear a lot about. This includes print. Most of our print we do these days has a digital component. So this is where we promote events from fall pilgrimage to balloon race to Christmas in Natchez, any kind of outdoor activities that we have or events, cultural heritage events, meetings and conventions is also a very important piece of this. And then I don't know if you've heard it. Last year was our first year, but we did kind of a live music campaign with Listen Up Y'all. So it's where anyone, restaurant, bar could call in. It's actually a text line to Listen Up Y'all, and they put it on the radio quite a few times throughout the week. So it's nice when, I'm downtown shopping and I hear in the background, oh, well, so-and-so has live music. So again, trying to promote that. What else? Anything? Website, of course, is very important. We're focusing a lot on SEO, which is search engine optimization. So what are those keywords that people are looking in and we come up first? Photography, public relations, Lou Hammond Group. I know you've heard us talk about them a lot. They've helped us in the past year get a lot of influencers. This is a very new market for us. Influencers are very expensive, but we love having them here. We have someone this weekend from South Louisiana, but we're always looking at their followers and what kind of great content they are putting out. So that's a piece that, as far as I'm concerned, we'll forever keep that in our budget. It's too important. Yes, sir.
Yeah, one of the questions was, how do you vet these people, both influencers and then travel writers and things? What sort of, y'all have a set of?
Lou Hammond is our absolute, and there are journalists that they say, they went to this destination. It was a horrible experience. They complained about everything. Would you like us to politely decline? So we're never the bad guys, which is nice. But yeah, they vet how many, they know what they want the engagement rate to be. They know how many followers they'd like for them to have. So we rely on them heavily for this piece. So they're great. They're out of Charleston and they get the South. So we've had a partnership with them for quite a few years. And then, of course, our digital marketing agency, very important, that SEO again. We geofence different places, the New Orleans airport, the Memphis airport, targeted ads. So, we have certain perimeters set to reach certain people. None of this would be anything you would probably see because they know that your phone is here in Natchez. But if you ever want to come to our board meeting on the third Wednesday of each month, we show like the ads and kind of all the analytics that go with that. So we're happy to have you guys, or you can just give me a call if you want to see some of those things and I'll be happy to share. Then let's see, visitor services. So this is kind of a new line item, but as you know, Fair Harbor, a couple of years ago, we started selling tickets. And it's really great now that we have the visitor center because we're trying to be a one-stop shop for everyone. Sometimes it can be a little confusing what website for what house or what tour. So we're trying to get everything under one roof and try to be that one-stop shop for everyone. And it's going really great. Mallory is over that program and she continues. If she hears somebody selling tickets, she's calling them and emailing them. So she does a fantastic job with that. And then also this will be coming up, but we're starting to sell at the depot some Visit Natchez merchandise. So, no competition with any of the vendors that would have our logo on it, but trying to be creative and come up with some things that maybe you don't see anywhere else in Natchez. Yes, and that's it. That was kind of, yes, ma'am.
Alderwoman Smith.
Thank you. How are y'all handling with obviously you're extremely busy with your interim position, the boots on the ground sales? I know you've got influencers, advertising and digital and print and all that, but with the boots on the ground, getting conventions and that kind of thing.
Unfortunately, I don't probably get to make as many on-site visits as I did in the past, but, I submitted a proposal earlier last week, 2 last month. So I still have those connections. They're still reaching out to me or, have a great relationship with some of the employees at the convention center. So if anyone calls and, they need us to take a meeting planner around that's on the fence. I mean, I still have ties, and, there may be a Friday. I like to set Fridays with nothing on my agenda so I can make calls to meeting planners and just people that I don't get to see as regularly. I like to touch out and let them know at some point I'm coming back to director of sales. So don't forget about me quite yet.
Just one little quick addition. If it happens that you feel like it needs a person to go visit, I mean, does the convention center sales people work with y'all on those type of things?
Like if they were going
Just
out.
if it's, for instance, an organization that you want to bring here for a convention,
Mhm.
and if y'all can't get there, do y'all work in cahoots with one
We-
another, I guess is kind of the
We
question.
do, but I'm boss now, so I can tell my staff to go if I can't.
Yeah.
And they're great about stepping in. But yes, of course, Convention Center has filled in many, many times and given presentations if we needed them to. So yeah, I talk to someone over there almost every single day.
That's awesome.
Lindsay, I wanted to ask a question. The salaries, you are budgeting for the executive director.
Absolutely.
And the
We sure
search
are.
is still on.
Yes, it
Just wanted to
is.
make
It
sure everyone
is.
understood that.
Yes, that is in salaries. That is in benefits, and hopefully we'll find that unicorn soon.
Thank you. Alderwoman Hall?
I just want to thank you all for what you do for the city. Yes,
I couldn't do it without them.
thank you.
They probably see me calling the phone and think, what could she possibly need this time?
Thank you all.
Alderwoman Irving?
I want to give those same sentiments as well. Thank you all
Thank
for what
you.
you all do for the city, but I also want to compliment you too. I'm here in interim, but and I know you want your sales department back. However, I've always said from the in 16, she's great. She's good for
Thank
Natchez, and you
you.
sell Natchez well.
I appreciate
And so you do a great job.
that. Means a lot. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mhm.
We have a good
Personality,
team.
the
We're
whole 9
very,
yards.
we're very grateful for all of you. I do want to ask this question. We all know, and I asked it in last week when we were performing some interviews. It's been a challenge across the country, economy-wise.
Mhm.
And we have some businesses here in the city, both retail and lodging, and even tour operators who tell us it's been a real hard summer.
Mhm.
What are we doing to make sure that we are maximizing marketing for fall, for everything from balloon race to pilgrimage? What are we doing to make sure that people, especially in our drive market,
Mhm.
are hearing all they can about Natchez?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there are a lot of publications that we work with that it is a fall event calendar. We want them to know every single thing. Our social media, we have slides. I mean, I think it ended up being 8 slides from August to maybe October of all the things there are to do. We also decided last year that we wanted to work with Good Grit, which is shameless plug, but I mean, this is purposely fall because we wanted people to know about fall pilgrimage. We could have easily done spring, but when they started talking about porch parties, here's another shout out to the historic homes. So, I mean, every piece we do there, nothing is done without us thinking how we can maximize our dollar and get the biggest return. So just about everything we do, we are making sure spring pilgrimage, fall pilgrimage, balloon race, all these events are being maxed out.
One other question. We have experiences like no other.
Mhm.
And there are experiences every weekend here and during the week. Are we putting those experiences out in the form of just short video clips? It may only last a minute, but it's an experience and it's basically, hey, come enjoy Natchez. I think there may be some really great opportunities coming up with all of the festivals and events we're having just to get some of these short clips out. They're free almost by the time you get them out on all of the social media platforms, get people sharing. And if you're creative about it, certain clips can go viral. We see that happening. I just want to know if y'all given some thought to that.
Well, we certainly share any kind of promo videos that events may do. We share those. And then when we are on boots on the ground at that event, we do some videos, but that might be something we can look at and see how we can utilize that more.
Okay. Any other questions?
I just want to say, I saw
Yes,
that-
Alderman.
that, I think it was some Instagram content that Good Grit put
That
out.
was good.
Oh, those,
Matches. It was
It was awesome.
really good.
Fantastic.
If y'all hadn't seen that, if you're on Instagram,
Mhm.
look up Good Grit and. look
Thank
at
you.
it.
They're
That's
calling
what
them
you gotta
hype
do.
videos, and that is exactly what it is. I mean, I know I'm partial, but I just think if I didn't know what Natchez was, how can you not just think those videos are great? So
You would wanna come here
You
and
really
see what it's
would.
about after seeing that.
you really would. They've been a great partner, and they are actually more millennial based. So that's why we kind of wanted to push those new and different experiences to that audience. You know, we still do the Southern Living and those type magazines, but this was just a different one, and we're really, really excited about this. This was about a year ago that we worked on all these things. So
All right.
Thank you.
And we're going to be pushing that through our platforms very soon.
Great.
Actually, very good. I don't know that there's any motion needed. I don't think so. I think we just
Okay.
appreciate the presentation.
thank you guys. Does
Thank
anyone
you.
want them? Y'all want these?
Thank you.
Okay.
And we have a few at City Hall. That's a great publication.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And I know everyone's waiting to see when we'll make that appointment. We'll make it soon. We've just had the budget and we've been focused on all of these budget meetings, but we will be making that appointment soon. All right. I'm going to ask, this was actually supposed to be on my report and I didn't include it. So we have Larry Brown here and I'm just going to ask for your indulgence. It was about a year ago that this board actually passed a motion that would rename the bridge. Some of us call it the flyover. It's the bridge that was constructed during the administration of Mayor Brown at 61. I'm sorry, at 61, coming from the north area on down by Walmart, the flyover. And so we actually submitted that to MDOT, and it's not advised that we actually follow through in naming that flyover bridge after Mayor Brown because it is already designated as the Veterans Memorial Bridge. And so we started looking around and we realized we have a very significant bridge that was constructed also during Mayor Brown's administration, and that's the bridge that is at Liberty Road, going across Sergeant Prentice. And it is a beautifully designed bridge. I don't think we would have that bridge and the beauty of that bridge and that interchange if it were not for Mayor Brown. And so in talking to his son, Larry, I said, well, we just need to get the board to pass a new motion. And it's a real simple motion, and that would be that we ask MDOT to consider renaming, or actually it doesn't have a name, putting a name on that bridge to memorialize former Mayor Butch Brown, who was also a former executive director of MDOT.
Second.
Motion made by Alderwoman Smith and Alderman Maroney. I'll recognize you as a second. You
It's in
beat
his ward.
Alderwoman
It's in his
Irving
ward.
just by that much. All
It's in
right.
his ward.
And it is the beautiful bridge that at Liberty Road. It is the bridge that crosses Liberty Road and it's a portion of Sergeant Prentice. And you go under it when you're headed to the high school or you're headed to the
Okay,
Natchez
but that
Trace.
bridge says Natchez Trace.
Yes. No,
Yes, it is.
That's
It say Natchez
no,
Trace.
that's the Natchez Trace Bridge. This is the bridge that's on up by the baseball field. It's on up just past the light there at the gas station. And if you were yes, and you were going to take a right to go to Waterworks, that's the bridge we're talking about.
Yeah, but that's Natchez Trace. It
It's
say
not.
Natchez Trace on top of
It's
it.
the 84 bridge.
No, sir.
There's another Natchez Trace Bridge on down that is the Natchez Trace Bridge.
No. Look at it. I think I could be wrong,
Yes.
but if you look at that bridge up there, you're gonna say Natchez Trace. I could be
That's
be
the
wrong
Trace
now.
Bridge.
But
This is
it's-
the Liberty Road Bridge and it has a different design.
I know. I'm talking about the Liberty Road right there where the
Okay.
Exxon station.
We'll
Look
confirm
at
that. But
I
it
could be
is a
wrong.
bridge that is owned and maintained by MDOT. And it's a beautiful bridge. In fact, at our request, they did a major cleaning, pressure washing of that bridge just a couple years ago, made all the difference in the world. The motion, though, is on the floor. Before we actually vote, I'd like a motion to allow, would you like to speak on behalf of your dad today? We're going to pass, first of all, a quick motion allowing Larry Brown to speak on behalf of his dad. A motion made by Alderman Maroney, seconded by Alderwoman Irving. Discussion. We'll call for the question. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Motion carries. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you for recognizing me, Mayor. I don't necessarily want to speak, but I will say that, you know, a year ago, whenever you did that, after it came to light that the bridge was already named Veteran Memorial Flyover or whatever it is, it occurred to me, hey, I should have known this, because I remember it was a big deal to my dad at the time. And there was actually a ceremony out there at the old VFW, which is the house right there. And it was a big deal naming that flyover. And it slipped my mind, as it did everyone else's. But I appreciate you being diligent and sticking with this and making this Liberty Road Bridge work, because it was very important to him as well. When you told me that you thought that would work, I've been kind of looking through all these boxes and things that he accumulated over the years, which is a whole lot of stuff. But at some point, there was a napkin, and on that napkin was the design of this bridge. He designed that bridge himself with an ink pen on a napkin in a steakhouse in Jackson, and gave it to the design people at MDOT.
Wow.
And when they had the ceremony, it was, I think the name of the ceremony, and I know some of y'all probably remember it, but it was the terminus of the trace. And there was a big ceremony one day right there at that bridge when they opened the trace, you know, all the way into Natchez. Well, there was also they were handing out these drawings of the bridge to everybody that came. This is like a print, you know, that shows the bridge as it stands there today. Well, he had his paper clipped on, you know, the napkin that he actually designed it on, paper clipped to that print that he picked up. And I'm sure I'll run across it at some time, but I haven't found it yet. But anyway, it was very important to him. He designed it. I think that's very relevant. And I thank you, Mayor and Board, for being diligent about this and ultimately getting this done.
Mr. Mayor,
Thank you, Larry. Alderwoman Hall.
would the name officially be Larry Butch Brown?
I hope so.
On both sides.
It will. It will be actually his official name, and it's actually written right here in the drawer. Larry L. Butch Brown the fourth.
No, he was senior. Larry L. Butch Brown Senior. I'm junior. And
I can't read his handwriting here. But he made sure.
Let's put his official name on it.
And it will be his official name. He actually made sure, when I get elected, he said, now you enjoy that desk in the mayor's office and also there at the council chamber, and look for my signature. And I did. He left his mark on Natchez in more ways than one. And yes, it will be appropriately designated, as MDOT will follow their design standards. Yes, Alderman Maroney.
I just want to say, you know, my father was an architect that designed a lot of buildings and homes and things around Natchez, and he drew an awful lot of stuff on napkins over the years as well. It was amazing what he could do on a napkin. But I want to commend Butch on the design of that intersection, because we hear a lot of squalling about the Tracetown intersection, and even the flyover. People say that they just don't work very well. But I used to live out Liberty Road, and I lived out there before that was built, and then while it was under construction. And the improvement to that intersection, you can complain about the other, you can't complain about that intersection. The design of that thing works really well. It really helps the traffic out there, because I used to have to deal with it all the time when I lived out there before the intersection. So hats off to Butch for his design work.
Yes.
That's right. All right. Yes, Alderwoman
I
Hall.
was showing Mr. Screen.
Yes.
that's it.
That's it. That's it. And you know, we all remember your dad so fondly, and your mother, your stepmother, Shields, and we miss them both. We really do. And I'm so grateful that we will be able to see this through to fruition and we'll have a ceremony out there. So,
Thank you so much.
Mayor,
thank you.
before you go,
Yes, Alderman Frazier.
let me say this. I dealt with your father through the good times, the bad times, the hard times, and the police. And he really gave us the blues some days. And we fought back with him, but we all remained friends.
Yes.
Let me just say it. I was in New Orleans at a huddle house. And I walked in, and the first person I seen was your father. He said, "Hey, Billy Joe." I said, "Mr. Man, what you doing down here?" He said, "I got a boat down here." He said, "I come to my yacht down here." I said, "Yeah." He said, I had my granddaughter with me. He said, "Who is this?" I said, "My granddaughter." He said, "Come on, take a picture with her." I took a picture. He took a picture with my grandma. I have it on my phone right now.
Wow.
And that was in August the 31st, 2014. And my granddaughter is 25 years old now and finna have a baby. Because that's been a while.
It has been.
But like I said, I enjoyed it because he gonna argue with you. You're gonna have to argue with him. You're gonna almost have to fight with him. But
I can vouch for that.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I would just like to say, I love the straightforwardness. He didn't, he was all about the business with me. And he really was. I mean, we had our share of laughs, but however, he was about the business. He took care of business.
Love him
And I
or
like
hate him,
that.
you always knew where you stood with him. That's for
Absolutely.
sure.
Always.
Always did.
Yep.
I'll call the question.
Call.
We'll proceed to a vote. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Larry. We appreciate you. We now will have department directors' reports. Mr. Johnson, you are recognized.
I did provide an updated staff report to your respective desks around 10 o'clock this morning for your review. And I do see that it's on the screen as well. Rollingwood and Glenwood drainage improvements, our FY24 state and tribal assistance grant through EPA. Staff is requesting a motion to accept the recently received grant agreement for the above referenced drainage improvement project. The total project budget is $1.093 million with no local match. EPA required a $273,000 or 20% local match, which was waived by the EPA due to the efforts of Ms. McDonald and staff. Pleasure of the board.
So moved. Second.
Motion made by Alderman Davis, seconded by Alderwoman Hall. Discussion? I think it's admirable to just see what Caitlin McDonald and staff, who is staff?
I wonder.
It's amazing what they accomplished in saving the city this $273,000. We'll call for the question. We'll proceed to a vote. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Motion carries. Next item.
FY24 Brownfield Community-Wide Assessment Grant, also by the EPA. Staff is requesting a motion to accept the recently received grant agreement for the above referenced Brownfield Assessment Grant. Purpose of the grant, the city's second assessment grant, is to conduct outreach and engagement activities, phase 1 and phase 2 environmental site assessments, health and safety plans for identified sites, site-specific quality assurance plans, asbestos surveys, etc. The total project budget is $500,000 with no local match. Pleasure of the board.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Davis, seconded by Alderwoman Irving. Discussion?
Mr. Mayor.
Yes,
So,
Alderwoman
Mr. Johnson, is that a typo where it says phase 1 and phase 1?
Oh, it is. Should be phase 1 and phase 2.
Okay.
Okay, my bad.
All right. Again, we're just so grateful to be able to receive this grant, the second one. And as we've already seen today, these grants are helping us to get major economic development going in our city. We will call for the question.
Call.
We'll proceed to a vote. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Motion carries. Next item.
North Bluff Electrical Improvements. At the June 10th, 2025 meeting of the Mayor and Board of Aldermen, City Clerk Megan McKenzie presented to the board the option to charge 20 cents per kilowatt hour, excluding tax, for a flat rate charge to use the electrical risers, panels, and pedestals along the north end of the bluff, including 50 amp, 100 amp, 150 amp, 200 amp, and 400 amp, and the RV pedestals. Staff, Dollar McKenzie and Johnson is asking the board to reconsider the 20 cents per kilowatt hour flat rate and instead base the charge on a per panel rate, or secondly, to include the cost of electrical usage in the lease of the North Bluff, noting that the deposit requested will be higher should the lessee need to use the risers. 2 draft scenarios for use of the electric risers. The first scenario includes a cost per riser for weekday and or weekend use. The second scenario does not include a cost per riser, but the fee to use the risers would be included in the lease agreement, but at a higher cost than $1,000. And the refundable deposit would increase from $2,500 to a higher cost. A decision is not requested at this meeting, but staff would like a decision at the board's earliest convenience. We're presenting more detail at a later meeting. So this, I guess, under consideration.
Thank you.
Thank you. I will say it's gotten quite, and we're just starting to have individuals using the electricity, and it's gotten quite complicated.
It has.
And so I appreciate you, Mr. Johnson, for helping us to come to
It's
a
a group
better
effort.
solution.
It's a group effort. You know, Ms. McKenzie, Mr. Dollar, and others involved. Yes.
Well, I know the board, and I included, will be looking to you for your recommendation ultimately on what you think is the best option. I know you've given some scenarios, but
Group effort.
we'll be looking to you for what you consider to be the best option. All right, next item.
Natchez Convention Center purchase of furniture. Quote bids for the purchase and installation of specified furniture were received at 10 a.m. on Thursday, August 28th. A summary and recommendation is as follows, and you do see on your respective reports, the furniture to Darby's Furniture, to Sullivan's Office Supply, and to Weeks Furniture, their respective totals, and the grand total. Per Mississippi Code 31713 Purchase Law Summary, not all the furniture being recommended for purchase will be the lowest and best price available. In some instances, the furniture recommended will be the best interest of the city to purchase commercial grade furniture versus residential grade, or leather versus cloth, because of the furniture's expected durability, resistance to stain, wear and tear, anticipated longevity because of its intended use. A motion is being requested to accept the recommendation of Waycaster Duncan and staff, the mayor, Ms. McKenzie, and myself, for the purchase of specified furniture for the Natchez Convention Center and the Natchez City Auditorium listed above, whether the recommended use of furniture is either based on the lowest and best price, commercial grade versus residential, or leather versus cloth, based on the furniture's expected durability and anticipated longevity. Pleasure of the board.
Motion made by Alderwoman Smith,
Second.
seconded by Alderman Maroney.
What is your note? What is your
Yeah.
note?
And the motion is to accept the recommendation,
Recommendation.
and
From
they,
the 3,
they
Yes, ma'am.
have a
from the
list.
3,
Yes,
And
ma'am.
it actually pulls from some from
Three
Darby's,
different-
some from Sullivan's, and some from Weeks, and this is the total.
that's
And
it.
this is the list of all of the furniture. And we relied heavily on the design advice from Johnny Waycaster and his assistant Gabrielle.
Mr. Mayor,
It's a beautiful collection of
I
furniture.
think the
Yes,
motion should
Alderwoman Hall.
include, I think the motion should be amended to include all 3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it should.
specified
I
in-
think that's what your recommendation
Just the recommendation.
is.
Yeah.
We're following your recommendation
I moved his
And-
recommendation.
for the purchase of specified furniture, and it's specified in that diagram.
If I do need to clarify, and I'll take the blame with regard to it, you know, all 3 vendors submitted prices for each piece.
Correct.
This is their price and our recommendation based on what they submitted. We do have more detailed spreadsheets, and if members of the board would like them, but we do have that. That was just very cumbersome. This is just the recommendation right here.
My suggestion is that we've been given 3 different prices.
No,
Yeah.
you've been,
That's
it's,
all one.
It's all one.
It's bid. Let me finish, please. I'm looking at each company,
yes, ma'am.
given a price,
Each piece is different though.
but the motion always says it's a recommendation.
Yeah,
So I'm just
right.
asking-
And,
it doesn't say all
see,
pieces.
this is the recommendation for each vendor.
Yes.
And so we're asking you to accept the prices provided, in yellow there for each vendor, with the grand total being $36,000 and some change.
Well, I didn't hear your motion say all three. That's why.
I did not say it. I mean,
Yeah,
again, if I
it
did not,
wasn't
if I
said.
was not clear enough, I'll take the blame for it. But it's based on the recommendation of, staff and Wake Esther Dungan to purchase these specified items from the 3 vendors listed.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
I got it.
Is everyone clear on the motion? Are we fine?
Now,
Okay. Alderwoman
I
Irving?
just was gonna ask, where is Sullivan Office Supply? Where's that located?
Starkville.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
We will now call for the question.
So we did 12.
We'll proceed to a vote. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Motion carries.
And I do have one more item that did not make the AV slide because it did not come in until 10:37 this morning. Duncan Park Golf Clubhouse renovation Phase 2. Land and Water Conservation Fund grant, Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries and Parks. Staff received notification by email this morning at 10:37 that the city of Natchez has been awarded a $200,000 grant coupled with local matching funds for the Phase 2 renovation. Staff is requesting a motion to allow the mayor to sign the necessary documents associated with this grant award. Please, the board.
And this is a grant reward for Phase 2 of.
What?
Oh, I'm sorry. Duncan Park Golf
That's what I
Clubhouse.
thought. That's great news.
So moved.
Yeah, just came this
Alderwoman
morning.
Hall has made the
Second.
motion, seconded by Alderman Davis. Discussion?
Yes.
Yes, Alderwoman
What's
Irving.
the local match?
Dollar for dollar, $200,000.
200,000. So do we have that when we're going into?
It was included in the budget, right, Ms. McKenzie?
It was, yes.
Okay, and that was out of what fund?
I think capital improvements.
I don't have it in front of me now, but no. it
I'm
was
I'm
not
just
part of the
asking because
bond.
we, those are the things we should know.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes.
No, I believe it was part of the casino money.
Or casino.
Because-
But without the budget spreadsheet in front of me, I can't say with 100%
But
certainty.
it's in the budget.
But we
Yes,
did
ma'am.
accommodate it
But
in the
it-
budget.
Okay, all right. Those are the kinds of things that we should know. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
And I know you can't think of everything.
those
Megan.
have been discussed in all the one-on-one
Not at
meetings.
this one.
No, the one-on-one, that has been discussed in all the one-on-one meetings, and we are still trying to get one scheduled with you and the clerk. Because the budget is so vast, we don't cover everything in the board meetings, but that is the importance of having that one-on-one soon. I think y'all are going to have one Monday, aren't you?
Well, she said Monday would be
Are you-
late,
oh,
but
one
I'm
evening.
available Monday
I think
morning.
she said she could get a sitter, or you're available Monday morning?
That's what I'm
Okay.
saying. I was off the entire day
Okay.
this coming Monday.
So, I
Okay.
mean, if you want to do it first thing Monday morning, we can certainly do that.
That's fine with me.
That'll be good.
Thank you.
That'll be good.
Call the question.
All right, the question's been called. We'll proceed to a vote. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. We appreciate it. Next on the agenda, we have Mr. Justin Dollar, Public Works. Hello, Mr. Dollar.
Morning, Mayor and Board.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Here before you today, requesting a motion to accept the grant award and to authorize the mayor to sign all related documents for a approved EWP at Mario Street.
So move.
Motion made by Alderwoman Irving, seconded by Alderman Frazier. Discussion?
We've gotten that information before, so
Call the question.
thank God it's
The
available for-
question, I do want to just state, this is another federal award that we have received, and it is going to allow us to address an erosion problem on Marietta Street. I want to take this time just to thank all of those who worked so hard to get us these awards, and all of the good work that is moving forward because of those relationships. Well, the question's been called. We'll proceed to a vote. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dollar. Next item, we have Mr. Mingo Tingle. Mr. Tingle, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mayor and Board of Aldermen. We're here requesting permission to advertise for a public hearing for an appeal of the Planning Commission's decision of approving a rear yard variance for 20 Wigwam Alley. That's map number 41-106A-63.1. I would also like to point out that this application the neighbor is seeking an appeal for has been withdrawn by the applicant. However, and I've notified the neighbor, and but she decided that she still wanted to address them.
I would say this, the city, I don't believe needs to invest funds to advertise for a public hearing, have a public hearing on a matter that has been withdrawn. That would make no sense.
Actually, a good point.
Am I correct?
Yes.
Mr. Lazarus?
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
There is nothing,
Nothing to appeal.
you're saying that the application that was being appealed has been withdrawn?
Yes, sir.
Well, there's nothing then. There's no action that we need to take. That would be a moot exercise.
And no, and with Mr. Mayor, may I ask, and no
Yes.
action from the planning commission then as well, right?
That's right. All approvals have been withdrawn.
Okay,
Because the application is no longer valid.
okay.
Okay, so that application is now no longer in
Right.
effect,
That one is.
under consideration.
We may, however, receive a new application in the future,
Okay.
for that property, but we don't know when that will be.
So that remains to be seen. So I would say no action needed on that item. Could you please now continue to the next item?
Yes, sir. Permission to advertise for public hearing for an appeal of the Planning Commission's decision in approving a variance and a special exception for the continuing use of a short-term rental for 37 Homachita Street, and that's map number 41, 114C-107.
So moved.
And
Second.
a motion has been made by Alderwoman Hall and seconded by Alderman Maroney. And so this appeal would go before the planning commission?
The appeal would
No,
come
no.
for the Board of Aldermen.
No.
Oh, to come here.
Mhm.
Come
And
here.
the earliest date would be October 14th. That's your first meeting of October.
Okay. What is our procedure in dealing with the, we frankly have not heard.
We have, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah,
We had
Follow
this,
the
We have to
process.
advertise.
Yes,
for
Mayor.
public hearing.
Okay, all right. We will then call the question and we'll move on to approve the motion. Okay, we'll
Yes.
proceed to a vote. All in
Mr.
favor?
Mayor.
Yes,
A
Alderwoman Hall.
reminder, we have to have a public hearing outside of business hours. So it's whatever we're done,
Okay.
it has to be at
So it'd
6
have to be the
p.m.
second.
Yeah.
6 p.m.
6 p.m.
The 6
Okay.
p.m. meeting.
That's true.
All right. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Motion carries. Next item.
Yes, sir. And this is for information purposes only. In your packet, you have a draft copy of the ordinance. It's an amendment to Chapter 12 of the Natchez Development Code to clarify and establish regulations for residential personal care homes. And hopefully you've been able to look at that. If you haven't, I can briefly kind of go over some of the high points. Essentially, the development code had a definition for a residential personal care home.
Can
And
you
these,
speak in the mic?
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
The development code had a definition for a residential personal care home that would be for a private residence that had individuals living in it that required 24-hour, 7-day care. And it mentioned, being regulated by the Mississippi Department of Health. And that's pretty much it. It was about, just a paragraph long. And it was allowed only under special exception in R1 and R2 zone districts. So because of, things that have happened in the recent, that the city has become aware of, it was believed that what we needed was a more defined process for approving personal, or residential personal care homes. And so what you have is that draft copy to amend the approval process. And this would not only be how the Planning Commission would approve special exceptions, but all residential personal care homes, no matter in which zones they exist, the application process and the approval process, and also continuing the inspection of those homes to make sure that the residents there were able to, receive the cares that they, are needed.
Yes, I want to say you've done a great job. We're not taking action on this. This is for informative purposes. But Mr. Tingle, it's a well-crafted document, and I know we have attorneys reviewing it now. I want to say, when you look at 12.7.5, property maintenance, I think that is all so very good. Interior cleanliness and safety, exterior maintenance, structural integrity, safety equipment. But I would like for you to, if you would, consider creating a separate section for resident comfort and dignity and Mississippi Vulnerable Persons Act, because those should stand alone as safety issues for the residents. The most important thing that we're saying in this document that, yes, we acknowledge everyone's right to have a place to stay, a place to live, and for there to be these homes when needed. But in every case, we want to make sure that the individual's safety, comfort, and dignity are seen to, and that anyone operating a home here in the city of Natchez will know that they have to follow the provisions of the very exhaustive Mississippi Vulnerable Persons Act, and that any violations of that act, as it does say, would result in a revocation of the special exemption. And so just basically, rather than bury those two items under property maintenance, set them apart under a section that deals with resident, you might say residential rights to safety. That's the only comment I have.
Okay.
I want to make sure that is not a bullet point that's ignored. It
Correct.
needs to make sure it has a prominent placement, because this is for their well-being.
Absolutely.
I don't want to ever hear again of a vulnerable adult in the city of Natchez being openly abused by someone out there profiteering from their condition.
Absolutely. We can do that.
Thank
I
you
think
so
the only
much.
other addition that you will probably see that is significant addition, there may obviously be grammar and, minor changes, but there's 7 criteria that the Planning Commission is required to review under a special exception. It's in, I believe, Chapter 7. We're going to include that again in here, just to, make that also known for anyone that wants to open one, so they will also have that in the ordinance.
Will this also make sure that it's clearly stated in our ordinances that any special exception is subject to consideration and can be revoked if they don't meet the standards
Correct.
that are set forth in the special exception? Are we making sure that that is taken care of? This would be a good time.
Yeah, we can look into that.
Okay. All right. I think that's it. Any more questions? Okay, Alderman Maroney.
This is probably a dumb question, but I just want to make sure anything we come up with and pass will be retroactive to any existing facilities.
Yes. I mean,
Yeah, I don't want this just to be for new ones from this point on. I want to make sure that this will be applicable.
We actually,
Currently operating facilities.
There is no grandfather clause in here. And right now, as far as
I assume that, but I want to make sure.
Correct. And it's a very good question. And one of the things that, as far as the ones that we've been, notified about here recently, none of those have received any type of special exception nor privilege license. And so when we pass this, we'll be able to have them to go through a more thorough approval process.
A case in point is when we passed the short-term rental ordinance just 2 years ago. None of the short-term rentals were grandfathered. They had to come in compliance with that new law that was passed. Thank you again.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And best wishes on your upcoming nuptials.
Thank you.
Mr. Porter, you're recognized.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Board of Aldermen.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Real quick, while he's getting this set up. Staff is requesting approval to enter agreement with Recreation Technologies, actually Rec Technologies, to provide parks and recreation program registration and facility reservation software. I just threw this presentation together this morning, so bear with me and stop me at any time if you have any questions. Basically, we're looking for a new solution for program registration, facility reservations, and membership management. Next slide. We've been in contact with Rec Technologies out of California for the past 3 months, and these are really big players in this particular market. They were founded by previous programmers from Google, Uber, and Amazon. So they're really focused on the user's end experience. Before we go much further, I will say that they're such big players that this typical package is $12,500 annually. We've negotiated that price down to $5,000 annually with a $10,000 implementation fee that we've negotiated down to $4,000, which can be broken into 2 years. So that would be $2,000 per year. The annual payment is $200 more than our current software, which is RecDesk. Okay, so benefits of switching. I had to print this out so I could see it. It's a mobile first design. Everyone's got a smartphone in their back pocket. No one carries a laptop with them anymore, except for a couple of people. Time savings. This simplified process would free up what I estimate to be 25 plus admin hours per week. And I'll show you in a couple of slides with our current software. Once we get to a certain point, people either give up or they call Dylan or I, and we have to walk them through the entire process, which sometimes, depending on how tech savvy they are, takes 30 to 45 minutes. So we typically get to a point, say, do you have a grandchild in the house? Give them the phone and they can do it for you. Ease of use, intuitive interface reduces the friction in reservations and registration. It's a really cool design. Everything's simple, everything's clean, everything's neat right in front of you. A big item is streamlining the efficiency of our refunds. Right now we have to, for any security deposit, we take that money on the front end. After the reservation, we have to check the facility out, then cut a paper check through the clerk's office. So it's going to eliminate some burden on them as well. And it's usually a 14 to 21 day turnaround before they get their reservation feedback. Additional features, and this is a big one, includes tennis court management, league management, event space management. Now through that, let me back up. Our tennis courts are currently on a cash-only basis. So this would provide a simple POS system for them through the city. And yes, so it's time to upgrade to the 21st century. With the event space management, we could potentially add places like Bluff Park, the bandstand, the auditorium, and Memorial Park. And that could fall under Parks and Recreation, or we could just send those hits to the community's liaison's office. And it would have all of our policies and procedures outlined in the software. So it would eliminate a lot of questions that I've heard just in the last 3 or 4 meetings that I've been in. AI and personalization. Now, this isn't necessarily AI on the back office, I guess you would call it. This is basically a feature that once a Once a resident creates an account, it will automatically prompt them programs and facility reservations and times that are conducive to their needs. Unlimited communications, so we'll be able to blast SMS, that's text message communications, and email communications to all of our existing customers in the database to promote new and upcoming programs. Next slide real quick, and this is the biggest thing for me. The user interface on the left is our current software. On the right would be the new software. It's just much cleaner, much easier. Next slide. This is the kicker for me. Okay, if you want to reserve the North Natchez Youth Center, and you want to try to do it from your mobile device, it takes literally 20 clicks. So the third picture is where we lose people. They're completely lost when they get to that point. And that's when the phone starts ringing. Next slide. Once they create, with Rec Technologies, once they create a user account, it's literally, they find what they want, whether it's a program or a reservation. They add it to their cart and they confirm pay. It also adds Apple Pay and Google Pay options, as well as having a credit card on file. Next slide. Use cases here, so we could have some signs printed and put on all of our pavilions to where they scan a QR code and book immediately, or see what's available in the future. We could also do the same on all of our pickleball and or tennis courts. Like I said, it simplifies everything. Next slide. 21-day paper check, instant refund. Once everything's checked out, we click a box on the back end and it sends it directly back to their card. Next slide. And these are just some use cases from across the country showing 63% increase in mobile registrations, single tap registrations. Next slide. We'll kind of cycle through these pretty quickly. Airbnb-like booking process, and Airbnb definitely has it down to a science. They know how to get people to register for whatever they need. Next slide. I mean, I know we're not San Francisco Parks and Recreation, but we could potentially be there one day. They've seen a $1 million increase in revenue from licensed learning. And this is just to support the $4,000 implementation fee. This shows you that we have a team of 3 experts that we've been in contact with for the past 4 months, showing you it's a 5-month implementation process and what they're going to do for us along the way. Next slide. And these are all of the areas that are they're automated through this system. So electronic waivers and forms, flexible policies and facility types. So we could literally have parks and rec facilities like shelters, or we could have the north end of the bluff in there with specific policies and procedures for renting boats.
Alderman Smith, did you have a
I
question?
just want to quickly get you to visit back to the implementation part. You said there's 3 people? Did I hear that? How many people?
I've had 1, 2, 3, Katie, Molly. I've met 6 people on their team.
So they come in and train, or do they?
It'll all be done
meet and you
remotely.
train? Okay. So just from the city standpoint, we've seen it so many times, it's only, technology is only as good as the people using it, and they have to be mandated to use it.
Well, I'm very fortunate to have a very technology
Savvy.
inclined department, and
What
we're
about the
willing.
tennis? Have you talked to the tennis folks about it?
That's going to be our first order of business,
Okay.
and that's really why we began looking
Because
into the
that should not be
software.
cash only.
And this is something that we could train Val in the community liaison's office and really help all departments, not just parks and recreation.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Alderwoman.
who in the recreation department is going to be trained on this?
Currently, it'll be myself, Dylan, everyone in the tennis center. So that would be Frankie and his employees. And I don't want to speak too soon, but this is potentially something that we could move further into the back of Duncan Park. And I'll leave that alone for now.
Right now.
And it's,
That's going to be my question.
and it's potentially something we could move to Liberty Park in the future.
But right now, we need to focus on
Tennis is priority right
We
now.
definitely need them involved. on
And it
this
will definitely help
electronic
with
transfers of
baseball
funds.
and our
Yes,
special
baseball,
events.
of course.
Absolutely.
You saying transfer?
Alderwoman Irving.
I just wanted to ask, go back. So we're still collecting, monies, from the patron to the, cashier at the tennis court. Is that what we're saying? Are we still collecting monies
Are we still collecting monies currently?
currently?
We are, but my office has no oversight over that.
Okay, no, this was
So
asking.
this
was
would
the
give
money
us,
still
this
being-
would be completely transparent. We would see every dollar in, every dollar
Yes,
out,
correct. That's what
and we'd be able to track those revenue.
So moved.
I don't understand.
Real quick,
Alderwoman
ask a
Smith.
question. Thank you. Just reiterate the cost, but you said
Okay,
200 more.
so we're currently paying $4,800 annually for our
Okay.
subscription to Rec Desk, which it's outdated, it's clunky. This would be $5,000 annually, so $200 extra. But the only negative is it would be $4,000 for the implementation process.
And do you
So-
purchase it annual, it's an annual purchase of
The implementation is a one-time cost, but instead of biting all of that off in year one, I got them to divide that into
Well, that's,
into
we
two
need that
annual payments.
implementation, because I think that was one of the
Oh,
failures,
yeah.
years and years ago with Springbrook.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's, I think that's
I'm-
the last slide.
What is the pleasure of the board?
We just made a motion.
And,
Okay,
and this has already gone to legal for review.
all right, all right.
So, and then, Mayor, I have to ask, where's
Yes.
the funding? Is this come to recreation funding?
This is actually, I believe.
Traditionally, this has been under IT.
Yeah, IT with the software.
Okay.
And so this is replacing a software that we currently have with
Okay.
a very small
Now,
increase.
one other
I mean,
thing
it's
I
not a
need to
material
add, this
increase.
is going to require some hardware in the tennis center. A $300 credit card reader, which those types of items could come out of the recreation budget. Absolutely.
So I have another question.
Yes.
Did we have smart out there where the smart, to swipe so that they could use their debit card and it was smart? Was that out there?
Not
It was
to my
something that
knowledge.
should have been out there about 4 years ago.
It was.
It was.
Okay. It was something that should have been out there.
And it
Okay.
just hasn't surfaced.
Okay. All right. Well, my
Well,
vote is aye.
I'm going to call the question.
Call.
We'll proceed to a vote. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, motion carries.
And due to the timeline of implementation and trying to have this online as soon as possible before our rec desk subscription is over, I'm going to have something signed pretty immediately and shipped out.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Thank you. We will now have our city official reports. Alderwoman Hall.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. At our August 12th, 2025 meeting of the Mayor Board of Aldermen, the Aldermen unanimously approved to opt in on House Bill 1197, which is now known as the Safe Solicitation Act. This is a new law which requires a new ordinance. Therefore, I now move that a draft Safe Solicitation Act ordinance go before the Planning Commission.
Motion made by Alderwoman Hall. Is there a second?
That's our panhandling act. We opted in. It is a law. There was a board action, and now we need a new ordinance.
Okay. Is there a second?
No, what I want to say is this, is
A
that,
new law.
I understand the new law that
Yes.
passed July 1st. However, that never came to the entire, it was brought to our attention, but we didn't get a copy, a physical copy to be able to read. And that's something we do as a board, that's a board decision, not a committee. So it needs to come before all of us. I've asked for it to be in my mailbox.
Alderman-
Never
Alderman,
received a
you can-
copy.
You can look up House Bill.
No, that should be
1199.
I'm
physically
sorry, I can't
done.
continue discussion until I
Okay.
have a second.
Second.
Alderman
No.
Maroney.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Did you second the
No.
motion?
No,
Oh, okay.
no.
Do I have a
So we're gonna
second?
defy a law? We're gonna defy the board action?
No, what I'm
We
saying
opted
is that
in.
we need the information. We can't discuss because we haven't seconded the motion.
Okay. Alderman Hall,
information
if
distributed.
you'll provide more information, then we
Mhm.
can bring that at another time.
Mr. Mayor, I think every alderman knows how to go and research a law that was passed by the legislature that went into effect this past summer.
Mr. Mayor?
Alderwoman,
So
Alderwoman
it's a
Smith.
state law,
It's a
correct?
state law.
And there's not a need for.
We don't need to.
It's a state law, so I don't see the need for amendments.
Nothing supersedes the state.
I'm going to just,
currently
at this
have an
time, we don't have a motion.
Yeah.
All I'm gonna say is we
yes.
currently have an ordinance on panhandling.
Mhm.
This is panhandling, this all is panhandling. So therefore, our panhandling ordinance
Okay.
is no longer in effect because of this new law. So why wouldn't we have a new ordinance if we currently had one in the past?
Okay.
Because it's a new law
Okay.
relative to panhandling.
I understand.
Okay.
Thank you, Alderwoman Hall. If you'll continue, you still have the floor.
That was the end of my report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Alderman Frazier, you're recognized.
Yes, mine's gonna be very short. First, I'd like to thank the Natchez Convention Center, Mr. Walter Tipton and his staff for an excellent job that they did for my 50-year anniversary. I want to thank him and his,
Speaking your
like I
mind?
said, the convention center they did an excellent job considering that they are still working on the building, but like I say, they did an excellent job. Also, I'd like to thank the staff of the Natchez Grand for doing a good job. I'd like to thank Miss Yolanda Morgan Catering Service. She did an excellent job with the food. Also, I'd like to thank this photographer, Mr. Jack Patterson Jr. and Mr. Dylan West for the photos and stuff that they did. Like I say, my anniversary, my wedding anniversary, 50-year wedding anniversary, turned out to be a great success. Everyone was happy. As I say, the music was great, the food was excellent, and also the people that attended was excellent. They were looking good. Everybody was looking good and had a great time. That's the end of my report, Mr. Mayor.
Well, we all made note just a couple weeks ago of how excited we were for you being able to celebrate 50 years with such a wonderful lady, and how we also had great admiration for Mrs. Frazier.
One more thing, Mr. Mayor. That last part you was right. Great admiration for Miss Frazier. As everyone here know, to put up with me, it got to be something. 'Cause I know in the back of some of y'all mind, y'all trying to figure out 50 years with him. She got to be a good woman, but because she ain't, and I'm gonna say it because I know he ain't nothing but a fool.
Oh, no. I'm gonna tell you, and y'all make a beautiful couple, and it was just such a pleasure being there. Marla and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Well, thank you, Alderman
I say
Frazier.
the staff of City of Natchez, they really did a good job and everything. Considering that at that same time, there was 3 weddings. They had one on the bluff and one in City Park.
My goodness.
And as you say, and as you said, the rest say, the City of Natchez was busy. Every weekend, there's something going on, weddings or something going on. So, like I say, that happened to the economy of the City of Natchez. We're getting people in.
It is. Thank you, Alderman. Alderwoman Smith?
Yeah, never report.
Okay, thank you. Alderwoman Irving?
Okay. Well, I would just want to share this, Mr. Mayor. I'm all in with our renewal project that's taking place out in Tracetown. But I do want to share some of the concerns but not concerns about that project, concerns that we're hoping it would be a success. That's what we're doing. It is creating jobs and all those good things. However, I have been greeted by several people in the neighborhood watch and other members of my community looking at other locations. For instance, an example would be Rankin County. Just recently got the data center. We know what the Golden Triangle looks like with Amazon and all those other businesses up there. at Mid-County just got a new company. I don't think it's coming until 2026. So we're just looking at all the infrastructure that we have. And I love tourism. That's our major industry now. Absolutely no problem with any of that. But something a lot that would offer, they feel, with a lot more stability with the manufacturing company. So, and of any company, I mean, is there anything that our EDA person is looking at?
Yes.
Could that person come and present some of this information? Because it'll take the pressure off the questions that we get.
Yeah.
Okay.
You may have heard Trey Hess said, you'll be seeing more of me. There are some things that they are working on that we can't announce publicly yet, but I would say I'm very excited, very encouraged. In fact, someone just this morning reached out and I said something about all of the progress soon to come. It really, it's like the EOLA. That was the hardest secret to keep for a year. And so excited the EOLA is going to be a tribute property. But I would encourage you to call Mr. Russ and go visit with him.
Okay.
And, and some of these are confidential things, but we could have him come and meet with us in an executive session.
Okay, that'd be great.
We could do that.
And like I said, I'm hearing, in the 90s, we had 5, 6, plants that were here. It offered the stability to the community as
Right.
well. Nothing wrong with tourism, any of that, the retail, all of that. But just looking at the inflation, cost of living, our wages that our
Yes.
employees make, all those things impact, that. And I can safely say, 20 years ago, when the mills were up and going, you had a more stronger
Yes.
economy, population increase, all of that. So just to offer that stability that we are trying to get industry, because we have the infrastructure, 84, the quarter out there. We have everything. So why are we being overlooked here, Natchez? What can we do to enhance and be more creative with recruiting those businesses to look here at our location?
Thank you so much.
And that ends my report.
Thank you. Alderman Davis?
No report.
Okay. Alderman Maroney?
I'll try and keep it brief, just a few things. Live at 5 starts, first weekend in October, Friday evenings at 5 o'clock, all through October. That's always a lot of fun for all of our Natchez residents of any age. I want to thank Jody for getting some lights fixed for me. Every time I find some street lights that are out, I let Jody know he gets them taken care of right away. I also want to thank the police department. They've been helping me with some issues in a couple of neighborhoods. I've called them, they've responded. I just want to say thank you. Our workforce development is going to be a big part, I think, to what Felicia's talking about. If we ever want to get employers here and big plants here, I've said it time and time again. I've spoken out there, talked to Tawana about it. We've got to get people trained, and we've got to teach people how to work hard, be dependable. If we're going to get factories here or any sort of large business here, there's going to have to be a pool of dependable employees, not just people that come to work occasionally. They're going to have to be good, dependable people. One last thing, with the Ola Hotel project, that's pretty exciting. One of the things that really bugs me is when people pronounce my name wrong. When I see a commercial on TV that was produced by somebody out of town, there's one running these days for Natchez Heating and Cooling. It says Natchez. I hate hearing Natchez. I would think that the Marriott family probably hates hearing people say Marriott. It's not Marriott. Let's learn now, before they get here, to pronounce it properly. It's Marriott. Somebody told me that last week, that it's important. Little things matter. Make a good impression on these people. It's Marriott. That's all for me.
Actually, the correct name for the pronunciation of Natchez is Nachi.
But that's 400 years ago.
There you go.
Mr.
Thank you.
Mr.
Thank you,
I do
Alderman
want
Maroney.
to.
Alderwoman Irving?
Thank you. I just want to piggyback on what he said. Even with me being in high school this year, we are preparing our students as well they're doing, those that are doing the alternate route with vocational ed, they're able to earn a platinum, a bronze, a platinum, or gold level. And we had one industry here, Delta Energy is offering that. So if they come with the gold level, then they get paid a little bit more per hour to work. But that's a good thing. So we're working. I see it happening. It's just that, all the missing pieces got to come together.
Right.
All the missing pieces got to come together.
Yes.
So thank you for mentioning that.
Madam,
Alderman Frazier?
one more, this is, I don't know if we got that taken care of. I got my packet a little later. That parking situation down on South Wall, has that been rectified?
I'm sorry, the parking.
Handicap
situation-
parking from Miss,
That's a police.
Oh, on Union.
yeah, on you, yeah,
That's a
yeah.
good question.
Has that been
That was
taken care?
referred to the police department. It was.
Okay.
Yes.
I looked at that, but this is a question I want to ask. I looked at that designated parking space, handicap space, right? I'm trying to, and like I say, I want to be fair about this. Was that parking space designated by the city of Natchez to be designated as a handicap zone in front of that house?
Chief Green, would you like to
That's a good
respond?
question.
Huh?
Now that Alderman Frazier, I do not know. I don't know who designated that a
But
handicap spot.
Yeah, and like I said, it just came to me because that parking space is a handicap zone. God, the citizen, and I'm not against people parking, but if you designate a parking space in front of your house, anybody can come up there and designate, but it have to come to the board. And I don't know if that situation, and I hope the lady don't blast me for this, but I don't know if that parking space was designated as a handicap parking space by the city of Natchez.
That's something we need to look into.
That,
Well, she
That is
wrote,
something-
everybody got a letter.
yeah.
Everybody got a letter.
Yes.
But like I say, and I'm just gonna say, being a former police officer, when I got the letter, looked at it, then I looked at the pictures. When I looked at the picture, I'm like, wait a minute, how can you get a parking space in front of your house without coming before the Board of Aldermen? And I'm not trying to
You're
start
exactly
anything.
right.
No, you're exactly right. I will definitely
It
look
definitely-
into that to find out
Because
how
it has
that
not
became
come to the
a
board since I've been-
that's right,
handicap spot.
because everybody, because the
Then
letter-
everybody
the
would be
reason why I
able to
said-
get a handicap spot in front of their house.
The reason why I said that, and that right too, the reason why I said that, because everybody got a letter, but everybody, then in the letter, she said, where's the police? They're not doing their job. See what I'm saying? This is what they blamed on the police. But how you gonna blame it on the police if they got a parking space there and they ain't been designated by the city?
Yeah, we did respond over there several
I know,
times.
I seen the officer, I got the pictures.
Yes, sir.
But, like say, when they go enforce it, when the police go enforce it,
Interesting.
but we need to find out
Okay.
about that parking space in front of the house.
We'll find out
It
who.
may not be a legal space. Is that what you're saying?
Well, it might not, I'm trying to say, we might can do it if it come to the board or with some kind of, we have to find out legally, can anybody request it in that place? I can say, I need a handicap brought in front of my house.
All right. Well,
Okay.
that's a good point. Thank you, Alderman Frazier. We will now move on to the city clerk's report. Madam Clerk?
Okay, got a request for approval of the first September 2025 claims docket.
What's the pleasure of the board?
So moved.
Motion made by Alderwoman Smith,
Second.
seconded by Alderwoman Hall. Discussion?
Yes.
Alderwoman Irving?
Oh, okay. I just think it's an error, but it does need to be brought to your attention. It's on page 40. Mr. Spence, it says management of downtown. So I think that's just a typographical error because he's the director, well, he's the tennis pro, isn't he?
Right,
Yes.
yes.
So I just wanted to bring that,
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, management of tennis.
yes. Mhm. And that was it. I mean, I had some other things, but when I have this meeting with you, then I'll bring it to you, your attention.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Irving.
Mhm.
Any further discussion? We'll call for the question. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, motion carries. Next item,
Next item is a request for approval of the 1st September 2025 mini claims docket.
So move.
motion made by Alderwoman Irving. Second. Seconded by Alderman Davis. Discussion? We'll call for the question. We'll proceed to a vote. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, motion carries. Next item,
Next item is a request for approval of the August 2025 personnel report.
second. Motion made by Alderwoman Hall, seconded by Alderman Davis. Discussion? Discussion? We'll proceed to a vote. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, motion carries. Thank you. Next item,
Okay, next item is a request for approval for myself to attend the Mississippi Municipal Clerks Fall Conference. It's August 8th through the 10th in Cleveland, Mississippi.
You said August 8th?
I mean, I'm sorry, October. I'm sorry.
Okay.
October 8th through 10th.
all right. The motion has been made by Alderwoman Hall.
So second.
Seconded by Alderwoman Irving. Discussion? We'll call for the question. We will proceed to a vote. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Motion carries. Next item.
Thank you. Next item is a request for approval of travel for myself and Miss Denise Bell to attend the Springbrook 2025 conference and training. It's October 27th through the 29th, and it is in Las Vegas. That is where the only place they have it, and they have it every year.
Hate it when they have places
Let-
like that.
I got a question. I got a
Put me
question.
down to go ahead.
You need to learn Springbrook too.
I got a question.
Send somebody to my
Alderwoman
place.
Hall has made the motion,
Oh,
seconded by Alderman Davis. Did you? Yes, Alderwoman Smith.
I'm just curious. I know they offer remote training. By the time you fly out there and stay in a freaking hotel in Las Vegas, could it possibly be?
We actually have reached out to them, and because I know we had looked into sending people to Portland years ago, having them come here, doing different things. They have videos on their help desk, or you can go for one-on-one training at their conference. Those are your options these days.
Is there anything in particular y'all are looking at training on?
Definitely the bank reconciliation module. I would like to also get more information on the inventory module that we currently pay for. We have never used. And just more in-depth on the ins and outs and tricks of using it that we aren't currently using it to its full potential. So with this conference and training, they have one-on-one training that you sign up for. And if there are other group sessions that they are having, you know, of course, are welcome to attend those too. But during that time that we're there, we would be attending one-on-one training for our specific needs.
When's the last time y'all went to a Springbrook training?
Never.
I thought we've had something with Springbrook though, because that was what you're hearing. That was my question.
So in 2013, when the city converted to using the Springbrook software, I wasn't here. It's my understanding when I was the city clerk the first time, I was told that they did send someone to Natchez to train everybody. None of those people are still here. So the only information that we have in using this software is what has been passed along from one employee to the next as people have rotated out. No one that currently works for the city of Natchez has received any official real training from their company.
The current, okay. And I agree with that, but.
I will tell you though, I wish there could be some more work. I know we pay Springbrook a lot. I just wish we could look and be sure that there is no online or in-person training that we could bring them here for and actually train more of our staff
I
for
reached
the same
out.
amount?
I did reach
that
out to
we're paying?
them and ask them specifically, in the past, we were going to send people to Portland or we had the option to bring them here. They said, we no longer do that. The only way to get one-on-one is to attend the conference and training.
Okay.
Other than that, there are videos available on their help desk.
And that's not gonna help when you gotta get
And we
started
have
with
tried
something.
to do the
Yeah.
videos. Some of them have been useful, some of them not at all.
Okay. Alderman Frazier?
It was my understanding that, recently, it's still a lot of stuff that y'all really don't know about Springbrook. Am I correct?
That's correct. I mean, there's a lot that software is capable of doing that we've never been trained on, we don't know how to use.
And I think the last time when we discussed this, they were talking about bringing somebody from Springbrook here, that we had to pay their way here to Natchez, pay the hotels and all this stuff. So anyway it go, it was a win
Yeah.
or lose thing. So
But they no longer send people to location for training.
thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Call the question.
Thank you. The question has been called. We will proceed to a vote. But before we do, I just have to say, I have a lot of concerns about the coming year and all of the conferences and all the trips. In just a moment, I am going to ask for the permission to go to Gulfport for our police academy graduation Friday morning, and just going down one night, coming back. But I'm making some tough decisions myself on budget and things. You just, Madam Clerk, you believe this is absolutely necessary?
I believe this is the only way for us to get the adequate training on the finance software that the city has opted to use.
I'm going on what you've said because I haven't researched the
Mr. Mayor.
Springbrook offerings. I know a lot of cities around the country use them, and it sounds like they are making training difficult. If you've got to go to a conference in Vegas to get that training. Anyway, the question's been called. We'll proceed to a vote. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have
Mr.
it.
Mayor,
Motion carries.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, Alderman Frazier.
This is my final comment on it, is that they're going to Springbrook, is that it is vitally needed, because when they go to the conference on the coast in Manila, they are networking. Y'all network with other clerks down there, correct? Okay. So,
Yes.
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor, I have a comment.
Yes, Alderman.
I'm all in favor of them going to get the training, because our findings on our audit saying that, hey, we are not doing what? We're not reconciling. We're not doing the journaling. And so that's a finding that we get
Yes, I get it.
cited for every time. So when you all go and come back, my hope is that you're able to train the other employees that are working in your office to enhance their ability to learn as well.
And not
And
just our
report.
department, other departments,
Right.
because a lot of the
Yeah.
different departments do use different aspects of Spring.
Of course, it just blows my mind that a major company only offers training. What have we come to in this country? Things are just getting so expensive and hard to do.
They said that was a change
They
they
need the
made
training,
after the
though.
pandemic.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
need the
everybody
training.
blames on the pandemic.
That's the only way
Yes,
we have
Alderman
One last
Smith.
question. Has this training been available? They have a conference every year?
So they started doing this conference and training, I believe in 2022, when they cut out,
I just wish we
site
could have it then.
visits and people coming to their corporate office after the pandemic.
I hate that we wasted the years not doing it. Anyway,
Okay,
I felt like I had to vote yes. 'cause we
all
have to
right.
get it.
That's right. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Mr. Attorney, does that conclude your report?
It does, yes.
Okay. Mr. Attorney, your report.
Mr. Mayor, we've been notified that there is a new national opioid settlement, and the option is to opt in or opt out. The deadline is October the 8th, so the city attorney is asking for a motion to approve opting in to the new national opioids secondary manufacturer settlement for the city of Natchez.
So moved.
Second. Okay, motion has been made by Alderwoman Hall, seconded by Alderman Davis. Discussion?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Alderwoman.
again, when we receive the opioid settlement funds,
Yes.
I would like for this board to, again, turn over these funds to the Adams County Youth Court as we've done.
Are you making, well, we have one motion already on the floor.
Oh, that's correct.
Well, we have not, you made a comment. I have not
Make a second.
actually, we have not actually had the motion.
Right,
Yes,
but
we
she
did.
just
I
made the motion.
You're making the motion and you're
Uh-huh.
including in your motion.
Well, we can do that separately. Let's do
Okay.
yours first.
So right now, I'm just entertaining a motion to accept the recommendation of the city attorney regarding participating in the opioid, opting in.
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
To the opioid settlement funds. It has been seconded by Alderwoman Irving. Now discussion. Yes, Alderwoman.
I just want to see, I knew that was made last year,
Well, this isn't
with the
about that.
funding.
This
No.
is just about the opting in.
Oh, the opting in, I'm good. Let's go with the.
We'll
address
call for
other
the question. We'll proceed to a vote. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Motion carries. That was fine as a voice vote.
Yes,
Didn't need a roll call. Okay.
that concludes my report.
All right. Any further?
Yes,
Yes,
I
I
want to
Conversation.
address the
Alderwoman Hall.
motion.
Yes, make a motion that, again, when we receive the funds, that we give these funds to the Adams County Youth Drug Court.
A motion has been made by Alderwoman Hall. Second.
Wait, I didn't hear the motion.
Alderwoman Hall, could you restate your motion?
I just didn't understand what you
To,
said.
once we get the funds, the opioid funds that come down to our state and to our city, the funds that we receive from the state, we give those to Adams County Youth Court as we have done previously. Adams County Youth Drug Court.
Okay. Does that motion have a second? Is there a second?
What I will say, this was heavily discussed at MML this summer. And again, they have encouraged anyone who receives these funds to put them into drug treatment programs. That's what these funds are for. They're not for our general funds.
Well, I don't want them to be for our general funds, but I do want to speak to that. The club had requested funding. And so I said that we're investing it in our youth, and I consider what you said. However, this is still investing in our youth, that funding. And I was going to say that depending on the amount of it, that it could be split in half to give something to the boys and girls, because you're still addressing the same issues, because we know that those issues exist in our community. And so whether it's the Boys and Girls Club or the drug court, I could see it splitting and go both ways.
I would say, the motion has not received a
Okay.
second. We can't continue. Alderman Smith.
Maybe
I
we
just
should
wanna say-
suggest we see what it is when we get it, how much, and then we can make a
See
decision
what the
later on.
climate is at that
what we
time.
do with the money.
Okay, Alderwoman.
But we know the Boys and
In
Girls
the
is trying to
future,
get
if
up.
we do not put these where they should go, to drug treatment program,
Mhm.
rehabilitation, we will no longer receive the funds.
Thank
We
you,
will not
Alderwoman
receive
Hall.
the funds. as
We will,
discussed at MML.
we will have time for more discussion on that and more, and for the Alderman to receive more understanding of that topic. Mr. Attorney, does this conclude your report?
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you so much. My report will be very brief. I want to start out by thanking our city clerk and her office, and our chief deputy and others for everything they've done to get a budget before us. And it has been a very, very tough job. But as we discussed last night, we have made a lot of progress. Now, we will have final adoption of the budget in a few days. And I want to continue to reiterate to everyone, if you have questions, please get with the city clerk and her staff to talk about some of those specifics. I've had questions. We've already talked twice this morning, and she has made herself available to me, and I'm very grateful for that. We are going to have a good budget. We're going to stay within our means, but we're still going to be able to accomplish some great things for Natchez. The second thing is I am excited about the EOLA announcement. It's been over a year ago. Alderwoman Hall, I think you were with me when we had a meeting with Mr. Pete Messer.
No, sir,
And
I was not.
in Jackson at the Crystal.
Oh, a few years ago, yes.
It's been over a year ago. And we had for a number of weeks been talking to Marriott, but we hadn't had a chance to speak to them in person. And Mr. Metzger was going to be in Jackson when we had to be in Natchez when we had to be in Jackson, and wanted very much to meet me and Alderman Hall, you were with me, and we said, well, we can meet you somewhere. And we ended up having a very quick meeting. It was actually a very nice meeting. He continues to talk about how much he enjoyed the Crystal hamburgers, and we met at the Byram Crystal because he was on his way back to Jackson to catch a plane when we were on our way back to Natchez. Well, over the past year, Marriott has been working with the development team. And as everyone saw in the announcement, a lot of work has gone in. And I want to thank Mr. Rob Lubin. He has personally put in close to $2 million into this project to pay for the pre-development stage. It's been an expensive project because they've had to use all of Marriott's designers, Marriott's branding, and everything's had to be approved by Marriott down to the design of the room key cards. So we are looking forward to a celebration in 2027. In the meantime, our code enforcement, and Mr. Lubin's aware, did send a letter to Mr. Lubin addressing some concerns that we still have at the property that we hope can be addressed between now and the time construction begins, because we have to continue to have safety in our community. But the Tribute portfolio is a great portfolio, and the final hotel will be, I think, living up to its tradition. When many years ago, it was called the finest hotel between Memphis and New Orleans. And I believe we will see that reputation return when it is complete. So thank you to all of those. Hayes Dent, who never gave up, the rest of the development team, including our own Marjorie Feltus Hawkins from here in Natchez, who's contributed in a consultant capacity to the great ideas that have become now part of the design. Alderwoman Smith, thank you also for being there with me at the meeting with Pete Metzger and Marriott just a week and a half ago, or 2 weeks ago in Jackson. It was actually a week and a half ago. Also, I want to mention a lot of fall events coming up. And fall pilgrimage begins in just a week. And there are a number of historic homes and activities and new homes. I believe for the very first time, the Dr. John Bowman Banks House is a part of the pilgrimage. And so I ask everyone to please take part in the pilgrimage as it continues to bring thousands of people here each season. And these individuals are heads on beds. They're spending money locally, and we really need a good fall. If you see anything online that you can share with friends and individuals to promote Natchez, please do so. We'll have the Balloon Festival before you know it, Angels on the Bluff, so many other great things to come. And so let's be in the spirit of getting ready for company and promoting Natchez like we need to promote all the time to get people here supporting our city. I also want to make a couple of announcements, and that is that we will be having another great job fair here in just another week, and it will be Thursday, September 18th, the Miss Lou Job Fair. It will be held at the Natchez Convention Center from 9 to 1 p.m. Also, we are seeing great interest in our workforce development programs and so many trades that are now off and running. And we're so grateful to our workforce development team, Director Tawana Williams, Lakeisha Rogers, and all others who are working so hard, and our instructors. Also, I want to mention that everyone should have received an invitation to a free event we are hosting in Natchez, the Southwest Mayors Association meeting. It will be held Thursday, September 25th. It will be held at the Civic Center. Lunch, a delicious breakfast and lunch will be provided by Ms. Yolanda Morgan. And we will be having information on attorney who we rely upon a lot, Todd Butler, is going to be talking about the need to keep your employee handbooks updated. We will have Bill Cork here from the Mississippi Development Authority talking about everything you need to know about economic development for small communities and cities and towns. We also will have a session with some legislators here to discuss our violent crime issues that are plaguing so many cities and towns across our state and the need for some reform. We also will have the Southwest Mississippi Planning Development District here during lunch talking about the many services they provide for small towns and cities that include everything from grants for senior programs like we utilize within our city, and also grants for economic development projects, for infrastructure improvements, a lot of free services that are provided here in our region that many of our cities and towns don't know about. And we will also have, and we have invited all area legislators for the Southwest region to come to a panel discussion on legislative matters. So this is going to be a very good meeting. All department heads, all city officials, and our partners are invited. I've invited the Board of Supervisors. I've invited every one of you to come. And it's going to be a time also of good networking with many newly elected officials from Southwest Mississippi. So we look forward to having this. I do want to ask for permission to attend the upcoming graduation of our police cadets. It will be held this Friday morning in Harrison County. And in order to be there and to participate fully, I need to be able to go down Thursday evening. And I don't like staying away from home, but it'll just be the cost of a hotel room going to the event and coming back. And I won't be staying at anything elaborate, I promise you. So I do ask for a motion to allow me to attend that graduation.
So moved.
Thank you. Motion has been made by Alderwoman Irving.
Second.
And seconded by Alderman Davis. Discussion? And we'll move on. We'll move on to a vote. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Motion carries. I do want to say this. We won't have an executive session today. We're about to adjourn. I would like to, yes, I
Ms.
have,
Mayor,
yes, Alderwoman.
If you don't mind.
What?
It just popped to my mind. Blacknatchez.org. Remember we had the free concerts?
Yes.
So we're asking people to vote. I'm just going to ask you, please go to their website, blacknatchez.org, so that you can vote. The votes will be voting for free concerts here in our area, in the Triangle area. And also, there's a number to call, but the deadline to vote is September 15th. So we're just asking all members of our community that's in favor of having free concerts in the Triangle, please call the number and go to the website. Again, the website is blacknatchez.org. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. And we have been sharing that on social media.
Okay.
Alderwoman Smith.
You mentioned the crime earlier, and I do want to just reiterate that my research, there are no state mandates on how local governments spend the money they get from the opioid settlements. And some cities then have opted to, they might want drug prevention in your community, equipment to the police departments, that ways to keep drugs off the streets. I mean, there can be a lot of things that can benefit. So I just feel like when the time comes and we receive a certain amount, we really need to look at
how we dispense
how
it.
we dispense it.
All right.
More ways than just one.
Right.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I want to just make this comment. The last few days were very challenging, very hard days in being with the family of Juanita Robinson. Mrs. Robinson was a lovely lady who served her church, her community, was a friend to so many, wonderful children. And it was heartbreaking. In fact, her daughter Trinica works at our Natchez Transit office. We also got to know her son Anthony, her son Derek, and others in her family. we had hoped that she would be found, and sadly, she passed away in a single car accident, and the car was not visible at all. And it was truly a miracle that the car was found. I went out to that area Saturday morning, and had it not been just for a couple broken branches on a lower shrub, and the sheriff at that time going about 5 miles an hour looking and just scouring the area carefully, I don't think they would have ever found the car, which had careened off of the road and flipped several times and was in a ravine. The family has showed such kindness and such grace, and I just want to adjourn out of memory for Mrs. Robinson, and out of respect and compassion for her family.
Absolutely.
And her friends. I do want to thank our Natchez Police Department for all that they did, the Sheriff's Department. It became a project of getting all area agencies involved, and everyone, as soon as we reached out, responded. And I will say Sheriff Patton did not rest, and his team, until we had, the discovery on Saturday. Also, Natchez Adams County Search and Rescue were very important. And also Fisheries and Wildlife, the Game Warden's Office, just so many who helped. Our fire department even was on hand at the scene, along with volunteer firefighters. Yes.
I also want to say, Mr. Mayor, I hadn't heard you say, but cameras, the importance of cameras.
Yes.
Someone turned in the video where they saw the car.
Yes.
And so that
cameras
was a big help as well.
Cameras were very helpful.
Mhm.
And so I'm going to ask for a motion to
Absolutely.
adjourn,
So
and
moved.
then we will have a moment of silence.
So moved. And I would just like to
Yes,
say,
motion made, Alderwoman Irving, and seconded by Alderwoman Smith. Yes, Alderwoman.
she was also a great member. She was a member of Ward 4, but I've known her for a very long time.
Yes.
And I do apologize for not bringing that up. Had forgot. It's just so many things going
I know.
on. But
Live right there on Concord.
absolute, yes. Concord,
Yeah.
Burnham Avenue is where, as a child, is where I remember them from. And she moved there. But yes, to the family, have our deepest condolences.
And so the motion has been made. All in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye. All
Aye.
opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Motion carries. Let us have a moment of silence.
Yes.
Father, praying and asking for your amazing grace to be over this family and over our community during this sad time. In Jesus' name we pray.
In
Amen.
Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, everyone. God bless you.
God bless you.
All right.